Hello and welcome back to a Game of Thrones mod for Crusader Kings 2. We're going to try something a little bit different this time. All of the other series have been conquering and that's been fine. We have the Warhammer series now. The Warhammer series is where a lot of the conquering is going to happen. And this one's going to be a little bit more roleplay style. A little bit less min-max and a little bit more trying to play to the character. So what do I mean? Well, for instance, the character we're going to be playing is Sir Raymond Fossoway, otherwise known as Sir Raymond of New Barrel. Now, see, he's got things such as honourable, so we'll try not to do a lot of intrigue stuff, but he is a skilled fighter, and he is zealous, so maybe fighting against people of other religions, maybe trying to do fight for our lord because we're honourable, we're trying to get honour and prestige, that sort of thing. That's where we would try and end up. Not really going for sneaking behind people's backs, maybe just marriages, but we get a solid alliance. There's nothing too underhand. And then our next character, they might be a deceitful, something like that. Deceitful and craven character. And they might never want to go to war, but would always want to be sneaky and get the intrigue going. And that's how I wanted this series to go. So, why did I choose Raymond of New Barrel? Well, he has a bit of a backstory. There is another set of novels that J.R.R. Martin has done, and they are the Tales of Dunk and Egg. And basically they follow the adventures of Sir Duncan, who is, well, he's not a sir, technically, as far as I can tell, but he is this kind of, well, we've actually got him in game here. He is a very tall person, so he gave himself the name Tall when asked where was he from, because he's not a proper knight, he is a hedge knight. And as he was at a tournament in Ashford, his first tournament, he was trying to get some money so that he could, you know, his person who was teaching him had just died. He's trying to get some money. And what happened, basically, is he saw that a woman was being attacked. His squire came to him and said, this lady is being attacked. It was a lady he'd seen before. He was asking her to paint his shield. So he went and protected her. Unfortunately, the person he defended her against happened to be a prince of the Iron Throne, which didn't exactly go down very well. He was said that he had to have a trial, which would basically lead to him having his hands or feet cut off because he struck the prince with those parts of his body. Or he could have a trial by combat. So of course he chose the trial by combat because he's a very tall person. There was a chance of winning it. And the prince decided that it was going to be a trial of the 7. Which meant that there were 7 combatants on each side, and then they had to fight. So how does this bring in Raymond Fossoway? Well, basically, his cousin, Stephen Fossoway, was there. And he heard about this, and while Sir Duncan was looking for knights to fight on his side, Sir Stephen decided that he would fight on his side, and even said that he would find other people to fight on his side. And Duncan was very appreciative of this. Unfortunately, he is a liar, as can be seen by this. He's deceitful. He's also ambitious. So when the prince offered him a chance to switch sides for a lordship, well, he jumped on the opportunity. But Sir Raymond was not happy with this. He originally was not going to fight. He was just going to be there as a squire to Sir Stephen, but he decided that that was not right. He was going to break free from his cousin, and he was going to fight for Duncan the Tall. So, but he did not want to go around with this red apple on his sigil, because he didn't want to be mistaken for his cousin. So he created a new branch of the house with a green apple, which is where the New Barrel comes in. Because his cousin kept saying he wasn't ripe, so he decided to take it and made his own house. Eventually they did win the combat and other things happened, but I'm not going to spoil any of that. What's important for our character is he has a grudge. He has a grudge against Sir Stefan, over here, and probably against Sir Stefan's house, which would include Lord Jaime, our uncle. So this is where the basic start of our campaign would come in. Our first goal is to take over Cider Hall, and basically unite the houses. It seems fairly simple, but we'll see how it goes. It's also not that simple because, well, we actually have a liege. We have Lord Gorman of Cockleswent. Anyway, yes, so we need to somehow do this underneath him. It'll be interesting. This person is much stronger than us. He controls 2 counties. We only control 1. So, let's kind of get started with the actual game. So let's have a look at our character. What do we need to do? Well, first, I think we should get married. That seems to make a lot of sense. We could try and want to get an honorary title, but I think get married is a good start. We'll find somebody in a second. Choose a focus. Well, we're honourable, we're gregarious, and we're zealous. So we've got a fairly wide option of things that we could do. We're also a knight and a skilled fighter, so maybe war would be a suitable thing for us. Maybe hunting could be a hobby for us. I don't know. Carousing could be it. I don't know. I'm thinking war. We'll go with war. It's reasonably alright. It does unlock the dual action against rivals and foes, which definitely seems like a good idea because, well, we'll want to go and get Sir Stefan. He's not actually our rival, but we could try and get that to happen. Maybe get a duel going. So we will set ourselves up here. Let's have a look at our council. So, we have a Castellan. Let's see if we've got the best people for the job. He's the best person. Justicar, that works off the... Oh, he works off of stewardship, never mind. It's still the best person. Justicar is still the first person. Master of Arms, best person. Treasurer, could be one who's equal, but nobody who's better. Spy Master, we have the best person. Maester, we have the only option. And Septum, we have the only option. Okay. So, let's... probably we should get married first, would seem like the obvious answer. Are there any decisions we can take just before we get anything started? No real decisions. Okay, so let's see who we can marry. Is there anyone of high rank we can marry? Not really. Probably want to marry someone around our own age. Probably this lustful lady. Or we can have a look in the find characters. Let's try and do this. So we want to look for someone who is a woman, who is not in prison, who is not married. They can be a ruler or not ruler, it doesn't really matter to us. My religion, we don't really care about culture. Is an adult, and probably a great house. We want a great house, okay. So let's see who we got. We ideally want something that's quite strong. Like, who's in a strong position. So we got Lady Danielle the Mad of Harrenhal. Probably don't want to marry a mad person. That seems like a very bad idea. Yeah, paranoid... Well, yeah. Lunatic. That's not a good idea. Let's not marry her. Lady Silva of Scorched Rock has died. She was in a matrilineal marriage. Her husband died. And what have we got in here? So she's a couple under. Let's see, would she marry us? That's the first question. Arranged marriage, there we go. Would she marry us? No. Would prefer a matrilineal marriage. So maybe we want to look for someone who's a little bit weaker, and maybe not go for a duke level. We got them sorted by rank, don't we? Yeah, so we can go down. So I'll be duke, and I'm trying to figure out, are these dukes or not dukes? They've got a different... Right, so that's duke, this is not duke. It's not duke. So we could go for try and find a countess who would marry us. Broad Arch, would you marry us? Probably not. No. Okay. Rowan, would you marry us? If we can't find anyone who's got a good kind of it's got a good title, then we will simply marry somebody with good who has reasonable traits that kind of fit in with what we're going for. Arrange marriage with her. She would marry us. Okay, so who is she? Lady of Westford. Westford is up here. We can close this now. She's the only one we need to find. Westford. Westford. So we'll jump to it again. So underneath here. Westford. Yes. So we could marry her. And that would allow us to have Westford. Let's have a look at her. She's rude. Not necessarily bad. She is chaste, though. That seems like a bad idea to marry her, all things considered. That seems like that would not go so well. Okay, let's find someone with good traits, or traits that fit with us. So, what kind of traits would we want? I think we want someone who's honorable. That seems like a good idea. Honorable. And then we can kind of work from there. Nothing else really seems to fit. Kind, gregarious, doesn't really matter. Just an honorable person, nothing else would really clash. And let's see who we've got. So, age, we'll sort it by age this time. And then we'll aim for kind of the middle of the pack. Kind of down here. So we got selfish, probably not. Selfish and honorable, that seems difficult. Oh well. Family person, could be. She's a contender. Do we have anyone who has any... We've got this attractive lady. She won't marry us though, we've already checked her. Okay, so we will probably marry Janie, courtier of the Westlands. That seems reasonable. Yep, we'll marry her. Assuming she will marry us. Yes. Oh, we're marrying into House Lannister. I didn't notice that, but that is very convenient. And we'll gain a lot of prestige from doing so. Yes, we will of course accept this. Right, so let's close down all of those windows. And let's see where we're going to go next. Well, we probably want to get a claim on Cider Hall. And I would say that our character would feel like they already have a claim on it. In a way. I don't know. But I think fabricating a claim would not seem completely out of the question. I would see it less of it says fabricate claims. I would see it less as fabricating and more of proving that we are the rightful owners in a way. That's how I would see it. They are not worthy to hold the land. That's how I see this. So we're fabricating our claim. Okay. Oversea province. That increases. I haven't really looked at these in great detail because our other campaigns it wasn't really needed. We didn't need to min-max what we're using our characters for. We'll have a look. So local build time, local tax modifier. Improved defenses, probably not that important. We're unlikely to be attacked by anyone. Pacify province. It does increase our levy size, which is a good idea. Reduces revolt risk. Would it be better to just have more tax though, which would then allow us to afford mercenaries? Possibly. Or we can try and improve holding. I think improve holding is reasonable. What's our chance of fabricating claims? 8% yearly. So yeah, probably improve holding. We'll go for that. Do we not have any holdings in New Barrel? Okay. What do we have in New Barrel? We have this castle. Can we not try and improve it? Maybe that doesn't count. Nope. Oh, it is selected. Does it? He's not doing it though. Okay. I guess we can't improve the holdings, so if we're not able to improve the holding, then our next step would be probably just to oversee the province, yeah. So, do you want them to suppress revolts, train troops, or train children? Well, we have no children, so probably train troops. Seems reasonable. Collect taxes, oversee construction. Collect taxes. Easy enough. Scheme, build spy network, sabotage economy. Probably just scheme. And scheming would be fine, it just uncovers plots of our local nobles. And then perform charity, seems reasonable. Okay. We can get a bodyguard, but nothing else is really that important. We do have a commander who is very strong. He's a flanker and a cavalry leader, which I like both of them. Do we have any horses? Is that something I'm unable to look at here? Yes, I'm unable to look at what we would raise. We could just raise them and then unraise them. We'll do that. We do start off with some cav, so yeah, that's fine. Yes, no troops will be disbanded. Yeah, I have noticed this retinue tab still exists, although I'm pretty certain you don't get retinue in this mod, if I remember right. Anyway, we do have a vassal. Let's have a look at that. We actually have a couple of vassals. They're all fairly happy with us. They're not overly ecstatic, apart from this guy who loves us. Are they all providing their full levies? They are all providing their full levies, so we'll just try and improve the opinion of the lowest one. So, Jeremy here. Let's just give him an honorary title. We'll make him our cupbearer. That's fine. And then Mattheos, we'll give him an honorary title. Make him High Alumner. And I suppose we should give our Septim an honorary title, and they can just be Master of the Horse. That's fine. Okay, we're kind of set up to get going now. I think there's nothing else we really need to do. What factions can we start? So, seniority succession. Deposed Lord Gorman. Members seek to force him to abdicate in favour of his heir or liege loyalists. Loyal to their liege. You know what? We'll join that faction. We'll join the liege loyalists. Because we're probably not going to betray our liege. And that would work out quite well. Anything we want to do to our liege? Probably not. Nothing seems to be very obvious here. Let's let the time move on. I think we're kind of set up. We'll play at a fairly high speed. Okay, I do have all of the Paramount set as special interest, as well as the Overlord, like the Emperor. Well, the King of the Iron Throne. Yes. I was saying Emperor because it's Emperor level title. Anyway. If I switch it back to Realms, you'll see that the Iron Throne is actually pretty together right now, all things considered. It's pretty well together. Over here, if you want to have a quick look, I'll just get rid of that. It doesn't really matter. Just a quick look at the world. The north, like above the wall, there's a little bit broken up, but as it should be. They're pretty much the same as in the most modern bookmark. Nothing really changes over here too much. All of here is very, very fractured though. Like in the most modern, well, the furthest forward bookmark, a lot of this is very controlled by one person. But a lot of it's just kind of general planes right now. And yeah, nothing's really too different over there. So let's let time move on. Create the title, not important. All hail His Grace Darion of House Targaryen, King of the Andals and the Rhaenor, and the First Men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, Protector of the Realm. Long live the King. We have fulfilled the ambition to get married. Perfect. Yes, they're going to have a lot of created title spam happening. So we now have a wife. And that is very good. Let's choose an ambition. Probably have a son seems like a good ambition to have. Yep. That's an ambition I think we would have. So we will have a son. We have gotten married. It is customary for a dowry to be paid to the groom's house. Is these the right events? To the groom's house? Well, we can say yes. Or people respect wealth. Which one gives us the dowry? Okay, you'll be if it's customary, then yes, we'll say yes, it is everyone's concern. He has sent you the customary amount in gold and silver for the bride's dowry, and now the ceremony can take place. 100 gold, not bad. We have an event. And instead of holding a tourney, let's hold a wedding feast. I've given orders for the grand ceremony and feast to be hosted in Starpike in honour of Sir Raymond Fossoway and Lady Janie Lannister's wedding. Let the preparations begin. All my vassals will be there. Yes, all 3 of them will be there. Medium fuel taxes law. Yup, a lot of taxes law going to be happening. Everyone's with the minimal taxes right now. It's a very exciting time in tax law. The best part about holding a wedding is organising the whole event. Well, we're gregarious, I think. Yup, so we'll spend lavishly. We'll spend that entire 100 gold on showing off. Most of the preparations for the wedding have been made, and now I only have to send out the invites. I'll invite everybody. While I was busy preparing for my feast, a troop of wandering jongleurs appeared at the castle. They looked a bit ragged, but their performance entertained the whole castle. Perhaps I should think about offering them my patronage. Yes, of course we will. We've now spent all our money on this. The fire blasted right past my face, and I felt how my hair started to curl away from the fire. The fire eater had been a bit too careless for my taste, but his troop and he were clearly greatly skilled. Well, we don't want to go into debt, because that wouldn't be a very... I don't think that would be honourable. We'll just... too dangerous. I don't want my guests to catch fire. Yes, we'll try and spend within our... as much as we can, but within our limits. The wedding day is upon us. Soon I'll be wed to Lady Janie in the sight of all the lords of New Barrel. It shall be a glorious ceremony. The guests have finally arrived. All is ready. The servants have worked day and night to prepare and decorate the dance hall. Lady Janie's gown is splendid and the castle has never looked lovelier. Welcome to the wedding. Here I stand before the gods to take up a holy vow of marriage with Janie Lannister. The great lords and ladies of New Barrel look on as I drape the arms of House Fossoway around my bride and finally seal our marriage. And now for the feast. House Fossoway, that is not a step up from Lannister in terms of easy, like the ability to pronounce it. I started talking to one of my guests at the feast and found them most interesting. Hours flew by, wine bottles were emptied, other guests excused themselves and went to bed, but we kept talking until the wee hours. I haven't met a more fascinating person. Who is this person? It is Maester Aaron, and he is our Maester. Oh good, glad we like each other. It seems like a suitable person. The feast is winding down, and now only the bedding remains. Raymond and Janie are stripped of all garments by the revellers, who make many a bawdy joke along the way. They are then finally bundled into their bedchamber, where they are finally left alone. A fine tradition. Okay. The morning after the wedding feast has come, and all the lords and ladies are finally making their way home. All agree it was a fine celebration. Many predict the newlyweds shall be most content. I had fun, and so did everyone else. So we get some revolt risk going down, some vassal opinion kind of evens out. We get some prestige, and yes, man, we get some more prestige in the next a little bit further down. Interesting. Okay. Did our wife become pregnant from that? No, she did not. Okay. Well, I think this is a good point to end the first episode. Thank you for watching. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me if you like the way it's going. Also, please give a like or comment or something in the first episode. It really helps a lot with the search rankings and all that sort of stuff. That's the only time I'm going to mention it, so there it is, it's mentioned. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.